Welcome to STIA 1123 online class. Today I would like to talk about basic class in Java. So let me start by creating new project, Java application. Give it a project name called basic class example. Alright, now we've given with our main method, and this is where we can create our object. So let's say I would like to create a new class called class A. Basically, you can give it any name depend on your application. For example, class for student, class for lecturer, class for teacher, class for car. So the definition of class, you should refer back to your lecture notes. So for this example, I'm going to use class name called class A. In any class, there are class members. There are two types of class members: your data member and also your method. Normally, for data member, or also known as variable, declared as private. So let's say I'm going to have a variable type integer A. So this data member is a private, which means that it cannot be accessed outside class A. For every class also contain a constructor. So a constructor is a method with the name the same with the class. So in this case, it's called class A. So this is a constructor. This is a variable. This is a constructor. Usually a constructor is being used for variable definition. We set the variable from our constructor. Since integer A cannot be accessed from outside class A, so the only way that we can set the value of A is through constructor. So this constructor will accept a variable, so give it B. So this is the passing variable that will be accepted by constructor whenever we create a class A object. To set the value, we call this referring to the class A dot A as a variable equal to the B, where the value came from when we create an object for class A. For every class also, it need to contain setter and getter method in case if a class A or the variable has not been set to. And also before that, for any class, it is a good idea to define a constructor without any passing parameter, which is the default constructor. So this is basically when we didn't define any object with a value, an overloading constructor will be used. So this basically defined as overloading constructor, where two constructors with the same name appear in the class. The only difference is that with the signature of the constructor. Alright, coming back to setter and getter class. For every class, it needs setter and getter method to set the value and also to get the value back. To set a value, we use public void set a with a value. Let's say we can also define the same value, because this is just a passing parameter that can be only identified within this method. So this dot a equal b. This is a setter method. So as a setter method, whenever we create object for class A, we can use set A to set the value of A. As we know, variable A basically inaccessible from outside this class. Another method that usually appear in a class is a getter method. Public void get A, no, public integer, because we need to return the value back to the object. So since the data member is an integer, we need to return this dot A back to the object. So now we have a complete definition for a class, where we have a data member, one data member, integer A. We have two constructor, overloading constructor, and we have a setter method to set the value of A if we didn't provide any initialization value through constructor. And also a getter method where we can get the value of A, since A is inaccessible from outside method class A. Alright, from our main method, we can create the object for class A by calling the class name and the object name. Let's say OA equal keyword new class A. So here you can see you can choose to use the default constructor, which with no passing parameter, or you can also use the default the constructor, the overloading constructor, with a value of integer. If you didn't provide any value, the integer a are not available with it contain null value, zero value, sorry. Okay, so if I created OA and I would like to print out the value of A, so we can call OA dot get A, because this is a getter value, get method. However, since we didn't provide any value in class A, overloading through the constructor, the default constructor, if we run this example, the value of A is 0, since this is an integer. If the A is a double, it will return 0.0. If it is a string, it will return null. Alright, so to provide value, we need to use set method. So OA dot set A, so we need to provide value because we call set the method set A. Let's say we put 10. So if I run this application again, the value of A is 10. It is also the same if we use the overloading constructor, where we provide the initial value of A, let's say 15. So the value of A now 15. So that is basically how you can create a simple class with constructor and also variable with setter and getter method. That's all for today. Thank you.